Forget it, I don't have time to play with you. Otherwise, if my aura spreads and attracts the powerful figures from your eastern continent, it would be difficult to get away, and things would become far more troublesome. Hun Hao glanced into the distance, a hint of a smile flickering in his black pupils. Ha ha ha. Since you're with that guy from earlier, once I capture you, I'll definitely interrogate you for his whereabouts. None of you will get far. Yu Qian said, enunciating each word. After speaking, the shadow behind him grew more solid, showing that he was momentarily suppressing the backlash from his battle soul. You've got some strength, Hun Hao admitted, watching Yu Qian temporarily control the backlash. Even though Yu Qian was enduring the backlash from devouring a battle soul, he was still a formidable fighter with such a soul. Even Hun Hao, with his power, had to stay on guard. Hun Hao's strength was at the early 3-star Do Xian level. Although Yu Qian's strength due to the battle soul was only at the perfect 2-star Do Xian stage, using the power of the battle soul would close the gap. You two are rare opponents. But today, I won't let you escape. Since acquiring my battle soul, this is the first time I'm using its power. Now, behold the true power of a battle soul. Ha ha ha. As Yu Qian spoke, his entire body turned crimson. In the next moment, a surge of red lightning surged from within him. A lightning-type battle soul? Hun Hao's eyes narrowed as he retracted his 3 soul locks, watching with caution. Lightning has always possessed formidable destructive power and paralyzing effects, making it especially terrifying. Boom, boom, boom. Each burst of red lightning on Yu Qian's body exuded a savage aura akin to a soul beast's, sending chills down spines. The battle soul's shadow gradually materialized around him. What grade of battle soul is this? Seeing the fearsome red lightning, Hun Hao's expression grew uneasy. Ordinary lightning wouldn't have troubled him, but the red lightning surrounding Yu Qian stirred an unprecedented sense of dread. If it was just a common rank battle soul, Hun Hao wouldn't have cared. But if Yu Qian had devoured a spirit rank battle soul, Hun Hao would need to be cautious. After reaching the Do Xian level, Do Xian power becomes formidable on its own. When augmented by battle soul power, the energy becomes even fiercer, embodying the savage essence of the battle soul itself. For instance, if someone devours a common rank battle soul of a demon wolf, using battle soul power would summon the wolf's spectral form, enveloping the fighter and infusing their attacks with the wolf's ferocity and unique attributes. This is what makes battle souls so terrifying. Imagine a destruction-type warrior who devours a powerful defensive battle soul. With just that power, they could single-handedly crush an entire nation. This is the true fearsome nature of battle souls. Spirit rank. Hun Hao finally assessed. Just as Hun Hao's words fell, a colossal spectral ape, 100 feet tall, emerged from the sky above Yu Qian. This battle soul's shadow. It looks similar to the body of a Do-Di, Hun Hao murmured. Blood Heaven Demon Ape? Black-faced tiger and scar wolf, watching from afar, paled. The Blood Heaven Demon Ape was notorious for its ferocity. They had tried many times to defeat it, but returned empty-handed. Who would have thought that Yu Qian had devoured such a battle soul? Battle souls are distinct from magical or soul beasts. They are scarce and purely energy-based, making them easily identifiable. Ha ha ha. With the Blood Heaven Demon Ape here, let's see where you'll run. Yu Qian's body was enveloped by the 100-foot phantom, exuding a violent aura. Red lightning surged across the shadow, stirring up clouds of yellow dust. The Blood Heaven Demon Ape is strong, but how much of its power can you wield now? Hun Hao said, channeling his energy in preparation while maintaining his composure. As one of the 12 soul lords of the Ghost King realm, Hun Hao had his pride. Blood Heaven Demon Ape howl. But in the very next moment, Yu Qian left Hun Hao no chance to escape. With a powerful shout, the phantom image of the Blood Heaven Demon Ape surrounding him let out a fierce roar. As it exhaled, an indescribably terrifying sound wave erupted outward instantly. Wherever the sound wave spread, grass, wood, mud, and stone were all reduced to dust in an instant. Not good. The demon ape howl of the Blood Heaven Demon Ape is its ultimate survival skill. Even a 3-star Docian wouldn't dare to face it head-on. Retreat quickly. Black-faced tiger and scar wolf, seeing the incoming danger, swiftly backed away, putting hundreds of meters between themselves and Yu Qian. Damn it, there's no escape now. Hun Hao's face turned pale as he watched the sound wave locked onto him hurtling forward, a sense of helplessness washing over him. The Blood Heaven Demon Ape was known for its unrivaled sound wave attacks, and for some unknown reason, this sound wave seemed to freeze the power within him, making it impossible to muster even a trace of strength. A spirit rank battle soul can grant such immense power. Then, if it were a soul of an even higher rank, wouldn't it? Hun Hao's expression showed no fear. Instead, a sinister smile appeared. Soul sacrifice. As the invisible sound wave attack neared, Hun Hao snapped his fingers, and a finely crafted pouch appeared before everyone's eyes. That is, Yu Qian, having just unleashed such a devastating attack, saw the pouch, and his pupils shrank tightly. It was as though there was something terrifying within it. Ha ha ha. There are indeed some remarkable beings beneath Soul Heaven in the Eastern continent. Although this method comes at a high price, obtaining the Undying leaf is worth the cost. Soul sacrifice, souls ascend. As Hun Hao's voice fell, a wave of sinister black energy burst forth from the pouch. Hoo-hoo! A gust of eerie wind swept through, and from within the pouch, hundreds and thousands of faint, shadowy figures surged outward. These are soul bodies? Watching this overwhelming number of soul bodies emerge from the pouch, Yu Qian's pupils contracted, and a wave of dread swept over him. What use is a battle soul? Let's see how you handle the power of 10,000 souls. Explode! As the countless soul bodies flooded out, they scattered in all directions. But in the next instant, Hun Hao's hand swelled, seizing them all with a fierce grasp. With a sudden squeeze, shattering sounds echoed, and simultaneously, an intensely radiant azure orb began to take shape in his hand. Perish! Hun Hao swung his hand toward Yu Qian, and before Yu Qian could react, the blazing azure orb tore through his soundwave attack, barreling straight toward him. You old fiend! Staring at the oncoming azure light, Yu Qian's blood-red pupils dilated in shock. The orb was composed of countless soul bodies, and soul power, from ancient times, had been the domain of alchemists and certain rare sects that cultivated it. For most people, soul power was dangerously fragile. This vulnerability in soul power was indeed a fatal weakness for them. Even for a powerhouse like Yu Qian, an early 3-star Docian, possessing a battle soul, his soul strength had just barely reached the Emperor realm. Facing an attack purely composed of soul power, defending would be arduous. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Yu Qian couldn't help cursing. This soul-based attack method was something he had never encountered before. Yet at this moment, he had no time to think further. The azure orb brushed aside his soundwave attack and smashed into the 100-meter-high phantom of his Blood Heaven Demon Ape. Uff! The azure light collided with the Blood Heaven Demon Ape's phantom, causing it to emit agonized cries. Although the Blood Heaven Demon Ape was indeed a spirit-rank battle soul with lightning attributes, it had no defenses against this attack forged from pure soul energy. As the azure orb struck, it directly assaulted the ape's essence, inflicting severe damage on it. No. If this continues, the Blood Heaven Demon Ape will be obliterated by this soul attack. Yu Qian could feel the ape's suffering and couldn't help but cry out. If he had devoured the battle soul in a typical manner, all of the ape's consciousness would have been assimilated, turning it into an extension of his own strength, along with inheriting its memories and powers. However, due to his forceful approach, the Blood Heaven Demon Ape's consciousness constantly resisted him, leading to his current predicament. Ha ha ha. Your battle soul's power is indeed formidable. Such a pity. Hun Hao chuckled from the side, though a hint of pain flashed across his face. Tens of thousands of soul fragments. These were the results of almost 3 years of effort. If it weren't for the imminent danger to his life, Hun Hao would never have been willing to part with them. After all, handing over these soul fragments would significantly boost his power, but acquiring the Undying leaf was some compensation. Don't underestimate me. Blood Heaven Demon Ape? Swallow it. In the next moment, Yu Qian's body crackled with red lightning, forming a terrifying storm of power. The red lightning slowly pierced his body, surging toward the spectral form of the Blood Heaven Demon Ape. What? As the red lightning surged, the Blood Heaven Demon Ape's massive form, already on the brink of collapsing, suddenly expanded several times over, and its aura soared. Gulp! In a single motion, the blue light orb was completely devoured by the Blood Heaven Demon Ape. Swish, swish. The soul orb that had been consumed by the Blood Heaven Demon Ape was now right in front of Yu Qian. This soul orb, it's filled with a myriad of emotions. Joy, anger, sorrow, and all the other feelings of life. But there's no time to waste. With a swift motion, Yu Qian opened his mouth and sucked in the orb, pulling it into his body. The power contained within the soul orb was too terrifying. If he didn't deal with it now, it could obliterate him. The only way to deal with it for now was to swallow it. Bastard! How dare you absorb the very essence of the soul? Are you crazy? Seeing Yu Qian's actions, Hun Hao's brow furrowed in disbelief. Collecting these tens of thousands of soul essences had been incredibly difficult. Hun Hao had narrowly escaped death at the hands of human experts several times in the process. Even so, the soul orbs were filled with intense emotions, joy, anger, sorrow, and all manner of human experiences. Even he hadn't dared to absorb them recklessly. But now, this Yu Qian had done just that? As the soul orb entered Yu Qian's body, countless emotions began to wreak havoc inside him. Clearly, while the soul essence was an immensely powerful tonic, it was also a poison. Tisk, TSK, TSK. This guy must be losing his mind from the disturbance caused by the Blood Heaven Demon Ape. Though the soul essence is powerful, consuming it like this, he's probably going to become a madman. Considering the time, Hun Ya should be at a safe place by now. I should leave too. Lord of Souls, our revenge for the Ghost King realm will begin from this Soul Heaven. With that, Hun Hao's figure flickered and vanished, turning into a wisp of dark energy as he headed off into the distance. My lord! The many powerful figures hiding beneath the city lord's residence couldn't help but call out. Move out! Bai He, take the main force and deal with Black-Faced Tiger and Scar Wolf immediately. As for Yu Qian, something's off with him right now. Don't engage unless necessary. He might be scheming. Wang Feng commanded. And what about you, my lord? An elder asked from the side. The one just now carried a familiar aura. I must go and get to the bottom of this. Wang Feng replied, his figure flashing before disappearing in the same direction as Hun Hao. Move out. Bai He's voice rang out as dozens of figures surged forward, soaring into the sky. Big brother, what should we do now? Yu Qian, he's probably lost his mind. Scar Wolf, who had just barely avoided the wave of Do Soul power unleashed by Yu Qian, couldn't help but ask. Doesn't matter. Yu Qian just swallowed that blue orb. He's definitely not in his right mind anymore. We've always been walking on the edge of a knife. Now that he's failed, we need to get out of here fast. I have a feeling something's wrong with the energy around here. Black-Faced Tiger muttered, scanning the area, but seeing nothing unusual. Let's go. Scar Wolf glanced at Yu Qian, who was writhing in the sky, clutching his head in agony. Without another word, he moved swiftly, heading for the distance. Thud. The moment Scar Wolf leaped into the air, he slammed straight into an invisible barrier. What the hell? Scar Wolf stared at the transparent space before him, completely puzzled. Formation? We're surrounded. Black-Faced Tiger's expression darkened as he slowly spoke. Black-Faced Tiger, Scar Wolf, surrender now? You two are already heavily tainted with sin, and you've conspired with the Yu clan. I am ordered by the city lord to execute you both. At that moment, dozens of figures materialized before them. You want to capture us? Let's see if you have the ability. Attack. Black-Faced Tiger's face darkened. He knew that their strength was no match for the elite forces of the city lord's residence, but there was no other choice now. Although their strength wasn't weak, they were up against the elite forces of the City Lord's manor. Capturing the two of them was just a matter of time. As the situation here drew to a close, Xiao Yan's figure gradually caught up with Hun Hao, who was carrying the Undying leaf. Damn Hun Hao, he actually enjoys watching me suffer. When we return to the Ghost King realm, I'll present the Undying leaf to him. Let's see how he competes with me for it. Hun Hao, hiding his presence while carrying the Undying leaf, swiftly fled. Along the way, he muttered curses, clearly frustrated by the constant animosity between him and Hun Hao, even though both were among the 12 Soul Lords. I wonder what Lord of 10,000 Ghosts needs the sacred flame for. Although the Undying leaf is powerful and ranks high among the sacred flames, for us people of the Ghost realm, only 2 sacred flames are capable of being devoured. If we recklessly try to devour these sacred flames, we could be instantly annihilated by their divine power. Wait, could it be that Lord of 10,000 Ghosts has found a way to devour other sacred flames? Hun Hao paused for a moment, muttering to himself, what secret does the Undying leaf hold? The more he thought about it, the more something felt off. Hun Hao stopped and found a secluded rock where he gently took out the Undying leaf. If I can get the Undying leaf, I might surpass the 12 Soul Lords and reach the top ranks of the Ghost King realm. At that point, I will have endless resources at my disposal. Hun Hao thought as he carefully examined the Undying leaf, searching for any hidden secrets. Should I make my move now? A massive surge of soul power perfectly concealed Xiao Yan's presence. He couldn't help but ask as he crouched behind a tree, just dozens of meters away from Hun Hao. Let's wait and see. This guy seems to know something about the Undying leaf. The Devourer of Souls said lightly. As soon as he spoke, Xiao Yan's divine motion natal core inscription began to stir within him, sending out mysterious, unfathomable waves of energy to silently surround the area. Why is the Undying leaf wrapped in ice? Just as the Devourer of Souls finished speaking, Hun Hao's voice echoed with disbelief. Wait, instead of being wrapped up, it seems the ice layer is protecting the Undying leaf. Could the Undying Fire Sacred Flame have something to do with ice? After a brief inspection, Hun Hao spoke. They were now outside the jurisdiction of Ghost King City, in an area sparsely populated. After confirming there were no other presences nearby, Hun Hao felt safe enough to closely examine the Undying leaf. Let's break this ice layer first, he said after a short time with no progress. As soon as he spoke, strange ghostly energy surged from his palm, heading straight for the ice encasing the Undying leaf. This guy is definitely from the Ghost realm, the Devourer of Souls remarked, watching the eerie ghostly energy emanating from Hun Hao. In the Ghost realm, there were 3 types of beings. The strongest were the native residents, who were the only ones capable of using ghostly energy. Powerful beings like Wang Feng, despite their strength as Do Xian, couldn't wield ghostly energy. They were humans who had died, with their souls or spirits entering the Ghost realm and continuing to exist there as souls. While they were still alive in some sense, they were no longer truly living beings, and resurrection was nearly impossible. In the human world, once a person died and their soul entered the Ghost realm, they were considered permanently lost. Gurgle, gurgle. As soon as the eerie black energy touched the ice cage, it was instantly purified, vanishing without a trace. Strange. Why can't this ice cage be broken? Hun Hao shook his head, clearly frustrated. Despite using all his efforts, he still had no way to deal with it. What is this ice cage exactly? Hun Hao furrowed his brow. The ice protecting the Undying leaf was so powerful that even with his perfect 2-star Do Xian strength, he couldn't break it. Forget it, let's leave for now. After a moment of struggle with no results, Hun Hao cautiously collected the ice cage and prepared to leave. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Just as Hun Hao was about to move, he suddenly felt a violent, explosive flame power fill the space around him. This terrifying energy sent a wave of unease through him. As one of the 12 Soul Lords of the Ghost King realm, Hun Hao naturally used the eerie ghostly energy of the Ghost realm. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan, using his divine motion natal core inscription and the power of the sacred flame, was more than capable of dealing with an injured perfect 2-star Docian. After all, sacred flames were the nemesis of ghostly energy. Creeping around? Get out here. Soul Lord Hun Hao snarled, his face twisting into a feral expression beneath his dark robe as he felt the overwhelming surge of flames. Injured as he was, he knew that if he stayed, this opponent's powerful fire could drain him to death. Leave the undying leaf, and I'll let you go in peace, Xiaoyan declared, standing confidently within his formation, looking down at Hun Hao. The space was encased in his divine motion natal core inscription array, bolstered by the power of the sacred flame. Within this formation, Xiaoyan's strength was amplified, while Hun Hao's was sharply suppressed, especially in his already weakened state. Haha. Hun Hao sneered. You, a mid-1-star Docian, think you're worthy of the undying leaf? Dream on. Though wounded, he forced himself to suppress his injuries, mocking Xiaoyan with disdain. The gap in strength among Docian warriors was significant, and even now, Hun Hao could crush a weak mid-1-star Docian like Xiaoyan as easily as an ant, an absolute power disparity. Take this. Not giving Hun Hao a chance to counter, Xiaoyan's body surged with blue-yellow flames, and he grasped the ancient ruler of heavenly flames behind him, releasing a terrifying blaze within the formation. This flame, how is it so terrifying? Hun Hao, though prideful, couldn't help but feel uneasy. Black ghostly chi surged around him as he tried to defend. Boom, boom, boom. The ancient ruler of heavenly flames roared down upon Hun Hao, its blue-yellow flames seeming to hum with delight as they met his ghostly chi, which shattered instantly upon contact. Hun Hao's face darkened, his dry lips trembling. How is this possible? The power of the sacred flame? Damn it! How could you possess the sacred flame? You're not from the ghost realm. Who are you? Xiaoyan took a step forward, his voice unwavering. I'm the one who will take your life. He readied a massive attack, capitalizing on the sacred flame suppression to eradicate Hun Hao completely. Our ghost realm has always been autonomous. If someone from the 6 realms trespasses here, we'll hunt them down. Hun Hao roared furiously. The ghost realm was isolated, hostile toward outsiders. Only 2 sacred flames existed in the ghost realm, but the intense power in Xiaoyan's flames was unmistakably foreign. Your concern should be for yourself. Xiaoyan responded coldly. Creation fist. Shattering mountain. His fist, wrapped in blue-yellow flames, pulsed with an immense, merciless force. What on earth is this pest? Hun Hao thought, anxiety creeping in. With the sacred flame, I have to flee, or I may die here. He finally cast aside his pride, realizing that even with his perfect 2-star Docian strength, his injuries and Xiaoyan's sacred flame might lead to his defeat. Too late to flee now. Xiaoyan's fist flared brighter as he unleashed an overwhelming pressure with Creation Fist, aiming to annihilate Hun Hao. Arg! Hun Hao had no time to defend and was struck head-on by the devastating blow. Instead of the sound of bones shattering, a strange, unnerving sound filled the air as his body contorted under the impact. You wretch! Hun Hao roared in a frenzy, his voice laced with madness, vowing vengeance. Soul body? As the black robe disappeared, the true face of Hun Hao was revealed. The moment Xiaoyan saw it, he couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. What came into Xiaoyan's view was a nearly transparent shadow. This was clearly the aura of a soul body. A soul body refers to a being that has detached from its physical form and exists independently. This is a common tactic used by the Soul Clan, whom Xiaoyan had long known about, even when he was still on the Doqi continent. They themselves are soul bodies, using special chains to capture other soul bodies and devour them to increase their power. Boom, boom, boom. As Hun Hao's soul body emerged, the formation immediately stirred up a gust of cold wind. Power of the sacred flame, burn. Xiaoyan did not dare to be careless. Upon seeing the true form of this enemy, his brow furrowed, and he summoned the sacred flame crystals within him. The flames erupted within the formation, carrying a fierce and holy aura. The intense sacred flame seemed to push Hun Hao's soul body back slightly, You little pest. Now that Hun Hao's true form was revealed, he struggled to fend off the sacred flame while also defending against Xiao Yan's attacks. He couldn't help but roar. Are you from the Soul Clan? Xiao Yan asked cautiously, seeing Hun Hao retreating steadily. What? Upon hearing Xiao Yan's words, Hun Hao's soul body visibly changed expression, his gaze fixed on Xiao Yan in shock. It seems my guess was right. Xiao Yan chuckled slowly. As his words faded, the green and yellow sacred flame crystals surged into his hands. Hun Hao's soul body had reached the perfect 2-star Douxian level, and Xiao Yan, in his current early 1-star Douxian state, would find it difficult to defeat him in a head-on confrontation. However, since Hun Hao's soul lock had been shattered by Yu Qian, severely weakening his source, and with Xiao Yan wielding 2 types of sacred flames, it wouldn't be difficult to deal with him. Impossible. Hun Hao's expression turned frantic as he stared at Xiao Yan as if he were a monster, his eyes full of awe. In this vast world, not even some of the most powerful beings had ever wielded 2 types of sacred flames at once. Yet here before him stood a human who possessed 2. It's over. Xiao Yan's voice was calm but firm. The Undying leaf is mine. As for the secrets of your soul clan, I, Xiao Yan, will uncover them all one day. He gently twisted the 2 sacred flame crystals in his hand, and the yellow and green liquids slowly flowed out, shooting straight toward Hun Hao. These 2 liquids were the essence of the 2 sacred flames. Anyone who could be targeted by both of these flames would undoubtedly be a powerful opponent. Xiao Yan. Hun Hao's soul body suddenly seemed to realize something. Are you the one who destroyed our soul clan's branch in the lower realms? Xiao Yan's face changed when he heard this. He realized that Hun Hao had learned something crucial. He immediately tried to retract the sacred flame essence, hoping to probe for more information. However, things did not go as planned. The 2 sacred flame essences surged forward like a broken dam, reaching Hun Hao's soul body and immediately burning it with intense fire. Boom, boom, boom. The yellow and green flames blazed into fierce infernos, rapidly consuming Hun Hao's soul body until it was completely burned away. Although Hun Hao had reached the perfect 2-star Douxian level, his source had been severely damaged. With both sacred flames attacking at once, he was no match for Xiao Yan. Ugh, miscalculated. Xiao Yan sighed as he approached the place where Hun Hao had perished. He carefully retrieved the storage ring, checked it, and found the Undying leaf inside. He gently took it out before completely destroying the ring. Time to head back. Xiao Yan smiled faintly, then swiftly deactivated the formation and made his way toward Ghost King City. As soon as Xiao Yan left, the figures of Hun Hao and Wang Feng appeared at the site where the battle had just occurred. Not good. Hun Hao's eyes grew cold as he quickly flew toward where Hun Hao had fallen. Sir, you dare to trespass into my Ghost King City without an explanation? Wang Feng's figure appeared in front of Hun Hao, his gaze dark and menacing as he spoke with a twisted smile. You little brat. Upon arriving at the site of the battle, Hun Hao's expression twisted with fury. He didn't pay attention to Wang Feng, instead focusing on the small hill where the battle had taken place. How could Hun Hao be killed? He's a soul lord with perfect 2-star Douxian strength. Hun Hao was the weakest of the 12 soul lords, but he still possessed the strength of a perfect 2-star Douxian. Even though he had been severely wounded by Yu Qian, he should have been able to protect himself. Moreover, the most crucial thing was that this guy actually had an Undying leaf on him. Now, with Hun Hao's fall, the Undying leaf has vanished without a trace, sparking a deep anger within Hun Hao. Get out of my way! Hun Hao shouted in rage, waving his hand as a terrifying wave of black chi surged toward Wang Feng. Boom, boom, boom. Seeing this, Wang Feng countered with a sweep of his own hand, unleashing a silver whirlwind. The 2 forces collided in midair, exploding and sending waves of energy rippling out across the sky. Although Wang Feng was only at perfect 2-star Douxian, he held a powerful trump card in reserve, enough to stand against a 3-star Douxian. This was precisely why he dared to pursue Hun Hao. Who the hell are you? Hun Hao roared again. Their journey here from the Ghost King realm had been prompted by news of the Undying leaf, which they intended to seize, only to encounter this unforeseen twist. Why is this guy so riled up? Wang Feng mused, choosing not to act impulsively as he analyzed the situation. I don't have time to waste on you people. With a whoosh, Hun Hao's form streaked into the distance like a meteor, escaping beyond Wang Feng's reach. Sigh. It seems these two have some powerful backing. I'd better report this as soon as possible. Shaking his head, Wang Feng retraced his path. Hun Hao had refrained from directly confronting Wang Feng for a reason. While Hun Hao's strength was at the early stage of 3-star Do Xian, and Wang Feng's was only at 2-star Do Xian, Wang Feng carried an elusive aura, making Hun Hao uncertain of victory and unwilling to take a reckless risk. Not to mention, the culprit behind Hun Ye's death might still be lurking nearby. Someone capable of killing a perfect 2-star Do Xian wasn't likely to be a pushover. With Hun Hao and Wang Feng's departure, calm returned to the area. However, nearby, the battle involving Bai He and his men continued. What's the secret of this undying leaf? Xiao Yan, having left just moments earlier, couldn't help but ask the Devourer of Souls along the way. Xiao Yan knew that the Undying leaf must be connected to the Undying Netherworld Sparrow. However, since the sparrow was sealed and in a state resembling deep slumber, he could only turn to the Devourer of Souls for answers. I'm not entirely sure of the Undying leaf's purpose, but I vaguely remember. It's essential for absorbing the undying fire. The Devourer of Souls recalled with effort, eventually managing to say this after a few minutes of thought. With the Undying Netherworld Sparrow and the Undying Leaf in hand, and with the likelihood of the Undying Fire existing in the Ghost Realm, it seems the time has come to prepare the materials for absorbing the Undying Fire, Xiao Yan remarked. To absorb the Undying Fire, only 2 materials are needed, the Undying Leaf and the Ice Mystic Pill. The Devourer of Souls, knowledgeable as always, naturally understood the power of the Undying Fire, and had learned of these 2 materials by sheer chance. Is the Undying Leaf really that extraordinary? Xiao Yan asked, unable to suppress his curiosity. I don't know its exact effects, but you felt the chilling power from the ice prison it was encased in, right? The Devourer of Souls replied. It's strong. So strong that I doubt I could even break it open, Xiao Yan admitted, shaking his head. The Undying Leaf is your lifeline when dealing with the Undying Fire. The flames ranked within the top 30, and especially the top 20, of the Sacred Flame list are in a league of their own. Without the Undying Leaf's protection, you wouldn't even get close to the Undying Fire, let alone absorb it, the Devourer of Souls said matter-of-factly. What about the other ingredient? With the Undying Leaf secured, Xiao Yan was less worried, so he asked further. The Ice Mystic Pill, a 5th-grade Immortal Rank pill, is your best protection for absorbing the Undying Fire. Its ingredients include Calming Grass, a magic core from a magical beast with strength comparable to a 3-star Do Xian, and 1,000-year mystic ice from the ocean depths. The Devourer of Souls' calm tone reverberated in Xiao Yan's mind like thunder. Calming Grass? This herb is known for its mysterious abilities to soothe the mind and calm the spirit, even offering resistance to certain poisons, hence its name. However, its rarity makes it virtually impossible to find on the open market. In Ghost King City, if a single stalk of Calming Grass were to appear, it could easily fetch an astronomical price, reaching billions in value. And then there's the matter of the 3-star Do Xian level magical beast. In the Ghost Realm, magic cores are referred to as soul cores, though their essence is the same. But this was the part that troubled Xiao Yan the most. After reaching Do Xian level, the strength of soul beasts undergoes a qualitative leap. Some even evolve to human forms, making it nearly impossible to tell them apart. Yet defeating a 3-star Do Xian soul beast? That would be a tall order. Do Xian level soul beasts aren't exactly easy targets. The deep sea has always been a forbidden zone for humanity. For ordinary humans, the limit of diving is a few hundred meters, yet the birthplace of this 1,000-year mystic ice lies thousands of meters deep within the sea. Within these depths, countless powerful anomalies exist. The deeper one dives, the more likely something will go wrong. Without a doubt, the first 2 ingredients for this Ice Mystic Pill, while challenging, are still traceable. But this final item is like searching for a needle in the vast ocean. Don't lose heart, kid. We'll take things one step at a time, Devourer of Souls said, seeming to sense Xiao Yan's thoughts. Xiao Yan understood that gathering materials to devour the undying fire was not something that could be accomplished in a day or two, and he smiled. Xiao Yan was determined that he would find a way. We're almost at Ghost King City. From now on, I need to work hard on increasing my strength. Once the time is right, I'll devour a battle soul, and I must also find a way to advance to immortal rank alchemist. Only then will I have a chance to come out on top in this land, full of hidden talents in Soul Heaven. On the eastern continent, Xiao Yan resolved inwardly. Let's not rush back yet. It seems there's an interesting scene over there. Let's go have a look, Devourer of Souls suggested, concealing his aura.